All right, Jeff, I want to talk to you about not only your boys basketball team here at Heathwood, but first I want to talk about A'ja Wilson. Obviously, her run here was unprecedented. National Player of the Year. As a matter of fact, if I can pan over here in your office, there's a trophy right here, the Naismith Girls High School Player of the Year trophy. And of course, that was given to A'ja Wilson. We'll zoom in right there where we can see the name. And she's now at Carolina, and is one thing that is for sure, she has lived up to the hype, as they say. Has just been incredible so far. I think they're going to have to name the SEC Freshman of the Week trophy after her, because she wins it just about every week. If you would just talk a little bit about the impact that she had not only on the court, but for the school's visibility and all the other things that come along with having someone that's literally once in a generation player.
Well, it was great. I mean, obviously, there were the publicity. There was a ton of that. College coaches here. The gym was filled for many games just because of A'ja. People coming that had never even been out to Heathwood before. TV stations out here that probably wouldn't have come to games if A'ja wasn't here. So it did a lot for publicity for Heathwood. And the great thing is, we had a Christmas tournament, and A'ja came back to watch. And you look over, and she's sitting on the bench keeping stats. Though she's a Freshman Player of the Year a couple weeks, a Freshman Player of the Week in the SEC already a couple times, and she hasn't changed. And that's the best thing about A'ja and her personality and what it has done for the school. People notice that, I think, even more so than her basketball talent.
Any surprise, and I know obviously you're biased towards her, as anybody would be that watched her do the amazing things that she did here, but it's still another level when you go to college. And it's not so much even who they play, it's the fact that she went into a team that was loaded, with returning players, yet she is still within the framework of team basketball, has emerged as, I think that it'd be accurate to say that she's probably been their best player so far this season. Regardless of that, are you surprised at all by the tremendous success she has enjoyed immediately right off the bat?
Well, you always wonder how someone's going to do leaving high school and going into a situation as good as USC's women's team is. And the one thing we always noticed about A'ja, she will work on her game daily. It's not something that she just gives up for a couple of weeks and then comes back to. She worked on her game daily the whole time she was here. And I'm sure she's even doing that more so at USC with Coach Staley. So, no, it's not a surprise.
All right, let's talk about Heathwood basketball this year. Obviously, you guys have had a lot of success in the past. You're obviously a very accomplished coach. You've got a young team this year. Is that fair to say? I was looking at the roster. Do you have any? What do you have? One senior, two seniors?
No, we have three seniors.
Three seniors. Okay.
Two that return. One's a starter.
Okay.
Another senior came out for the first time, and then we have 4 juniors. Mm-hmm. We start a sophomore and we start a freshman, and we have 2 freshmen on the team, but one of the freshmen starts, the sophomore starts. So in the backcourt, that's where we're the youngest, and that probably tells you why we had 24 turnovers the other night. But they're getting better. They work hard, but we've got a long ways to go yet.
Talk a little bit about, I always like to ask coaches because obviously a long time ago I was part of this group of teams, this league, even though we weren't called SCISA back then. But it's astonishing to me in the last 5 years, you don't even have to go back 10 years, in the last 5 years, how SCISA in football and basketball, and probably other sports too, but we really pay attention, of course, to football and basketball, but how the quality of teams, and not just in star power, just how there's just more better players and there's better teams kind of across the board in SCISA. Can you talk about address the growth of SCISA athletics as the athletic director here?
Well, I think, this is my 17th year, and what I have seen, not only have the athletes gotten better, but I think also you've seen the coaches have gotten better. Mm-hmm. There's quality coaches in SCISA, throughout SCISA, and they do a great job. And the athletes have gotten better, and there are a lot of young athletes right now. We went to a tournament in Charleston during Christmas at Portugal, and Pinewood Prep, they're very good again. They have young players. You look at Portugal, they start 2 freshmen and an 8th grader, or 2 8th graders and a freshman, and they're very good. First Baptist has an 8th grader that's going to be a great player. Northwoods has a very good team. Their best player may be the 8th grader that they have on their team. So not only they have good talent, but this young talent coming through.
As far as Heathwood this year, just talk a little bit about kind of what your expectations are for this team.
Well, as always, we want to compete for the region title, and we want to accomplish that goal if possible. But we also want to qualify for the state basketball tournament. We feel we always get better as the year goes on because we usually have basketball players that come out. Football players that come out to play basketball afterwards, so we get a little bit of a later start. So we feel we've always had that slow start, but we've gotten better as the year goes on, and hopefully that'll happen again this year.
Talk about a couple of key players, if you would.
Yeah, I'll start with Alex Curtin, our senior. He's our best inside player, 6'4" player. He's our leading rebounder right now, second leading scorer. He does a really good job. He runs the floor well. He's a good leader, and he's got the energy that you need to play inside. He really wants to be a guard. He's not quite a guard, but he wants to be. But he does some things that the other big men may not be able to. So he's really done a great job for us. Josh Caldwell's a sophomore. He's been playing the point for us, and really out of position because Josh is more of an off guard. He's doing that because Nigel Vaughn, who's a junior and started the last 2 years at point for us, has been out the last 7 games with a pulled hamstring. So Josh has taken that over, and he's done a really good job. And hopefully we'll get Nigel back tomorrow night because Nigel's been a great player for us for the last 2 years. And we really need him back. He's our floor general that we need out there to control things, and he sets up everyone else pretty good.
All right, well, Coach, best of luck to you tomorrow night. You have...
We're at Wilson Hall tomorrow night.
At Wilson Hall tomorrow night. All righty, and that's first region game, or...
No, we don't play...
Or actually, Wilson Hall isn't region, is it?
Right. Our first region game is next Tuesday here against Ben Lippen.
Against Ben Lippen. Gotcha. Who's got a good team this year?
Our region's loaded.
It really is. All right. Coach, good to catch up with you, man. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right. Thank you, Rich.
All right.